Hey, Pedro.
Hello.
Hey, Pedro. How are you?
Good. How about you?
Good, good, good. Okay, I don't see you. I hear you, but I don't see you.
Oh,
Are you hiding tonight?
no.
You can if you want to. I mean,
I'm here.
there you are. There you are. You were the first one on. I don't
Oh,
know
really?
where. Yeah, you're the first one on.
Okay.
I haven't heard. Usually, Norma sends me a text if she's helping her daughter.
Okay.
Excuse me. I haven't heard from her though. I don't know. All
Yeah,
right.
last week I was so tired. So
You were tired.
yeah. and I tried to take a little nap. When I wake up, it's almost not a PM. It's too late. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I get tired in the afternoons now. I think it's because I'm getting older. I need
No, because the season is changing.
right. The
Yeah. So
season's changing. Yes.
yeah. So the dark is come too early, so we
Mm-hmm.
are ready for the nap.
And then we'll change whenever the time changes. That messes me up too. I get
Yeah.
it takes me 2 or 3 weeks to get over that.
Yeah,
So
I think
I don't remember.
everybody feel the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least we're all in the same boat then. We all
Yeah.
have the same problem.
No.
What the hell?
Yeah.
Oh, goodness. Okay, let's see. I thought I heard somebody.
Mami, eso no es para estar oliendo, ¿ok? Te vas a hacer daño. No es para estar oliendo. Vete de aquí, vete de aquí. Mami, huele muy feo eso.
I didn't. Maybe they'll try again. I didn't. Okay, let me mark you here. Let me mark the roll before I forget. Okay, Pedro's here and I'm here so far. Okay, I'll give them maybe about another minute and then we'll go ahead and start if they're not on in about a minute. It's about 6:46. Yeah. We'll give them a minute to, whoops, just knocked my computer a winding. Okay. Mercy. All right. Now, there we go. Okay. Did you have a good day at work?
I did.
Well, that's good. It's always good when you like your job, you know.
Yeah.
I wouldn't like to work at a job I didn't like and couldn't have friends, and
Uh-huh.
it would not be fun. All right. Well, they've had another minute, so we're going to go ahead and get started. We are on page 87, starting lesson 12. And this is going to be the second part of our story. The first part of the story, the rat trap, was last week, and now we're going to do the second part of the story. And the first we've got some words and some definitions that we're going to look up, or match up rather. The definitions are there, we just have to match them. But in our word box at the top of the page, the sound we're talking about tonight is hard and soft G. And in the top part of the box, we've got the G that is the hard sound, and it sounds like G. The words are get. Oh, here comes somebody. Here comes Sonia. Hold that thought. Get Sonia. Hey, Sonia. Hey, Sonia. Ah, hey, Sonia.
Hi.
Okay, I can hear you, but I can't see you.
Okay.
It's okay. Pedro had the same problem.
Okay. I'm here now.
Now, there you are. There you are. About the time we get used to this Zooming, well, we can go back in person, hopefully.
Yeah.
It has its problems some days.
Yeah.
Are you good tonight?
Yes.
Good. You have a good day?
Yes.
All right. Okay. So
I'm
we
late,
should.
but I have a good day.
It's okay. It's okay. Pedro just got on too. I didn't think anybody was coming, so.
Oh, okay.
But I was going to stay on till about 7:30 just in case. So hey, that's okay. Anytime you can get on is fine. I don't care if you're late. That works fine for me.
Thank you.
All right. We are on page 87.
87. Okay.
We had just started, so you didn't miss a thing.
Okay.
In the word box at the top, the sound that we're talking about tonight is G, or the letter is G. Has a hard sound and a soft sound. In the top of the box, it's the hard sound of G that sounds like G.
G.
And the words are Gab,
Gab.
Gabby,
Gabi.
Nash.
Gosh.
I'm sorry, Gash. Yeah. Gush.
Gosh.
Gosh.
Gifted.
Gifted.
Gift wrap.
Gift wrap.
Golf.
Gold.
Golf.
Goad.
Gold.
Gold.
Gig.
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 Giggle.
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 Goggles.
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 Gargle.
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 Gamble.
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 Gambler.
Gambler.
Gallbladder.
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 Hag.
Hag.
Jag.
Jag.
Jagged.
Jagged.
And zigzag.
Zigzag.
Now, two of them in there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, all those have the hard sound G, and the sound is G. Now, in the bottom part, they have the soft sound of G, and it sounds like J, J. Those words are gee whiz,
Gee whiz.
Gee whiz.
ginger snap,
Ginger snap.
Ginger snap.
gingerly,
Gingerly.
Gingerly.
good, Georgia,
Georgia.
Georgia.
gerbil,
Gerbil.
Herbal.
budge,
Budge.
budget,
Budget.
Budget.
fuss, fuss budget,
Fast
Fast
budget.
budget.
engine,
Engine.
Engine.
engineer,
Engineer.
Engineer.
Genesis,
Genesis.
Genesis.
package,
Package.
manage,
Manage.
Manage.
damage.
Damage.
Okay. Now these words, most of these words at the bottom of the page, we're going to do definitions for. There's 15 definitions over to the right-hand side, and the words are listed over to the left-hand side. Read the definition and write in what you think the word is in the blank. And let's see, I'm going to give you 3 minutes on this one because it's a little bit harder. Might be a little bit harder, and it may not be. All right, where's my timer here? Three minutes. Okay. Need another minute?
I don't think so because I don't know what it means.
Some of these are hard.
Yeah,
One of these, I didn't know what it was. I had to look it up. I had to look the definition up because I didn't know what it was.
because some of those words I never hear about that, so I don't know what they mean.
Right. I know. These are a little bit harder than the ones last week. Last week, the ones were easier. But this one is a little bit harder. Like I said, one of them I'd never heard of. All right. Well, let's take them one by one, and we'll do the definitions and we'll talk about them. Number one, you want to read the definition for number one, Pedro?
The budget, a member, a person, a plan for saving and spending money. It is?
Do what now? Number one?
Yeah, the budget is a
Oh,
plan,
no, read the definition, number one.
a
Over
plan
to
for
the right-hand side.
a plan for saving and spending money. The number 6?
Right. That is correct, number 6. But look up at number one. Let's go 1 through 15. Read the definition for number one.
Oh my God. Okay. A device want to make a long deep cut or to slash deploy.
Dip.
I don't know what's that.
Deeply. Okay, a deep flesh wound, like if you had your arm and somebody cut you with a knife,
Mm-hmm.
you had a big open wound, it is called a gash.
Gash.
Gash, gash.
Gosh.
That's
Gash.
probably one that y'all have never heard because we usually just call it a cut or a wound, but it can be called gash.
Gash.
En español es cuchillada.
Cuchillada.
Really?
Cut.
So y'all do have a word gash for gash, right?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Oh, that doesn't even sound alike, though, does it?
Okay.
Okay, number 2. You want to read the and number 2 has a mistake in it.
Cookie and cookie.
Cookie is not spelled C-O-K-K-Y. Cookie is spelled C-O-O-K-I-E.
Yeah.
So the book made a mistake.
Mhm.
All right. You want to read the definition to number 2?
Yes. A gray cookie for dunking in milk. Ginger snap.
Ginger snap.
Ginger snap.
Ginger snap. Ginger snap is a cookie. I
Mhm.
love them. I love ginger snaps. Okay, number 3, Pedro.
A line or pattern which has 2 or more sharp turns. Oh my God. Go.
Okay, if you're doing this, what?
It's like one line and a partner which have 2 more than sharp turns.
Line and this line and this line.
Zigzag.
Yes.
Zigzag. Yes. Yay. Very good. It is
Phyllis,
called a zigzag.
zigzag.
All
Okay.
right. And number 4 is not too hard. It's easy. Number 4.
A member of the rat family that is often a household pet. Gerbil.
Gerbil. Ugh. I don't want no gerbil in my house. I don't want a pet rat in my house. No.
Gerbil.
Es un
Gerbil.
ratón.
Looks just like a rat. My cousin has a, what does she call it? Some kind of little monster, and it's like a lizard, about that long, And they let it crawl all over the house. And I'm going, no, no, no. I don't want anything like that either. So I'm a dog or cat person. Okay, number 5, Pedro.
A person who whines and complains a lot. Whose budget?
Fuss budget. That is correct. I've never heard that before. I've never heard anybody call that before. But that is the correct answer. And number 6, Pedro already did a plan for saving and spending money, and that's a budget. So he is correct. So how about number 7, Sonia?
Number 7.
Uh-huh.
An ugly, frightful old woman, a witch. It's say hi, hey, hi. I don't know how to say hi.
Hag.
Hag.
Hag. H-A-G. Hag.
Hag.
Sometimes they may, you might hear somebody say, that old hag over there.
Hag.
Mm-hmm.
Hag.
Hag or hag?
Hag.
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 Yep.
Oh my God.
I know. That's not a nice thing to call an old woman. I wouldn't recommend. That's not nice. So, all right. Number 8. Where do we get to? Pedro?
Carefully, cautiously. Carefully or cautiously. Gabby?
No.
Gingerly.
Gingerly. Gingerly is correct. I've never heard that anybody say that before.
Really, gingerly?
Gingerly is correct.
I think it's talking about people with orange hair.
With orange hair.
Orange,
Gingerly?
Ginger.
Ginger. On Gilligan's Island.
Uh-huh.
Gilligan's Island, she had orange hair, yes. Yeah. Well, no, that's gingerly means
Carefully.
Gingerly. The only way I've heard that word used is like in a sentence, she was walking gingerly across the parking lot, which it was kind of happy and light and slow, but I've never heard it used like this, carefully or cautiously.
You say, what you say?
She was the sentence.
The sentence.
She was walking across the parking lot gingerly, or she was gingerly walking across the parking lot, I guess would be a better way to say it. She was gingerly walking across the parking lot, which would mean she was carefully walking across the parking lot or cautiously walking across the parking lot. But, okay. Number 9.
Sonia.
Number 9.
Yes, number 9.
Located just under the liver in your body, this stores bile. The gallbladder.
Gallbladder, yes. Gallbladder. That is correct.
Gallbladder?
Gallbladder. It's an organ in your body. And you can have stones in it, and it has to be removed. And tomorrow, Miss Jennifer's going to get hers removed tomorrow at the hospital. So she's got stones in hers. So
¿Qué significa gallbladder?
La vesícula.
La vesícula? Oh.
Oh, is that what it is in Spanish?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Right. Okay, number 10. Gallbladder, yeah. Number 10, Pedro.
Glasses worn to protect against wind, dust, or glare. Google.
Goggles, yes, that
Okay.
is correct. When you're riding a motorcycle, you got to have your goggles on, or sometimes when you're mowing the grass or weed eating, you want to have your goggles on so you won't get grass in your eye.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, very good. All right, number 11. This is an easy one, Sonia.
The fifth book of the Bible, Genesis.
Yeah, you got an easy one, didn't you? Okay, that is the first book of the Bible. And that's the one our Bible verses have been coming out of.
Yeah.
All right, number 12. Pedro?
A word describing someone who talks a lot. Gabby?
Gabby.
Gabby.
Yes. She is very Gabby, meaning she talks a lot.
So Gabby is Gabby.
Gabby's
Gabby is
Gabby.
Gabby is Gabby. All right. Number 13. This one I had never heard of before. This is the one I had to look up.
I
Where
have
are
that
you?
to prod
To prod,
to your
like
urge.
urge.
Uh-huh. Insight.
Mm-hmm.
I make it like because it's the last one, but I understand that the word too, like God, I don't say.
Yeah, that is correct.
God?
But it's goad, G-O-A-D. I'd never heard this before, but I looked up the definition and it says to provoke or annoy as to stimulate some action or reaction. So you're provoking someone to do something.
Okay.
But I've never heard that used in a sentence. I've never heard anybody use it in a sentence.
What does that mean to prod? It's like the same
To
provoke.
prod, it's to kind of to push or to prod. They use it a lot when they're talking about cattle. They're going to prod the cattle out of the gate. They're going to poke them with a stick, get them out of the gate.
Okay.
That's where I remember it most. But to prod is to urge someone or push someone into doing something. It's kind of push, to push and to prod.
Push. Okay. Yeah, because when I the first time I saw, I said proud. I said no, proud.
Yeah. It's prod. The proud has a U in it. So,
But the first thing I saw proud, I said proud. No, it's not proud. Yeah.
Okay, number 14. Where did we get to? Oh, it's Pedro's turn. Yes.
It's better, yeah.
To take a chance on something. Take a chance on something. Gamble.
Gamble. Yes. To take a chance on it. To gamble. All right, number 15, Sonia.
Number 15. Something helpful to do when you have a sore throat. Gargle.
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 Yes, gargle.
Gargles.
Usually gargle, they tell you to gargle with salt water. That cures everything. I don't know if it does or not, but they say it does. Okay, I'm going to let you pick one word and make one sentence out of it. And then after you write your sentence, then send it to me in chat. You remember where your chat is on your phone?
Okay.
So you say what?
Okay, you can choose one of the words and make a sentence with that word, or you can use two of the words and make a sentence. But make a sentence with one or two of the words, just one sentence, and then send it to me in chat.
Okay.
Oh. Oh my goodness, what have I done with my chat? There we go. Okay. All right, Sonia. I like to make a budget when I went to the store. Okay.
I don't know
It's a,
if I'm right.
okay.
It's
I like to make a budget, which means you're going to make it now or in the future
I'm
when
trying to say I like to make it before I went to the store, but I don't know how I make.
Okay. I like to make a budget when okay, then you could say before. I like to make a budget before you're going to use go because went means you've already gone. Yes, it is past. So you would change went to go and just say, I like to make a budget before I go to the store.
Okay.
And before would be, yes. And then go would mean you're going to the store, not you've already gone. Wouldn't be past, it'd be future. Perfect. All right, then that would be perfect. All right. Oh, mercy gerbils. Okay. I love, okay, we need to put an article in there. I love a gerbil as a pet. A gerbil.
Oh.
I know. No, I don't love gerbils as
I'm not either.
Do y'all have a gerbil?
No.
No, okay. All right. I didn't think y'all would have a gerbil, but anyway, I love a gerbil as a pet. You would need, only thing you need to change there is to put the article a in there. Y'all sentences were great tonight. Y'all did good. You did your capitalization, you did your punctuation. Wow, that was great. All right. We might come back and make some more sentences. Right now we're going to read part 2 of the story, because I want to be sure you get part 2 story and answer the questions to it before we go on. And then we may come back and do some more sentences. I want to do prepositions, a little bit on prepositions tonight too. Let's see, it's 7:18. So we got plenty of time to read the story and answer the questions. And then we may pop back on the prepositions. Let's see, answer questions and then describe the characters. And then we may, yeah, that's what we'll do. Okay, this is the rat trap part 2. Remember in part 1 last week, there was a old man who had what hanging around his neck? What was around his neck that he was selling?
It's a rat trap, rat.
Right, rat traps, right. He was a peddler and he was peddling or selling rat traps. And he was in the story, he was mad at the world. He was very unhappy with the world. He thought the world had done him wrong. And he was going down the road and he came upon a house, and the little old man that lived at the house was a lonely little old man. He didn't have a wife or child or no one to talk to, so he invited him in, gave him supper. They played cards, and he gave him a place to stay. He told him all about his job he had at the iron mill when he was younger. And he told him about his cow that he sold milk and got money. And he even showed him the pouch that his money was in. And there was how much money in there?
$30?
$30, right. There was 3 $10 bills, so it was $30 in the pouch. So the next morning, both of them got up early, and the man was in a hurry to go out and milk his cow, and the man with the rat traps just said goodbye, thank you, and they both went on their way. But about a half an hour later, the rat trap peddler stood before the door again. And what did he do? He smashed the window and reached his hand in and took what?
Oh, yeah.
Took the money,
To
didn't
get
he?
the money. To get the
Yes,
money.
he took the money. And he walked along with the money in his pocket, and he was just real pleased with himself that he had got this money. He was rich now. He had $30 in his pocket. And it was late December, and it was getting dark, and he was getting cold, and he laid his head down on the ground, or was about to lay his head on the ground to rest, and he heard a sound that was thump, 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 and there was no doubt as to what that was. He raised up, and the hammer strokes from the iron mill. There must be people nearby. So he called upon all his strength, and he staggered toward the sound. So he went toward the thump, thump, thump. And in this week's story, it takes up, and let's see where that thump, thump, thump took him. Let's see. Maria, you want Maria? Where did I get Maria? She hadn't been here in 2 weeks. I don't know where I got that. Sonia, you want to read down to the bottom of the first page?
Okay.
And then Pedro, read down to the bottom of that next column, and then I'll read the last part of it.
Okay. The rat trap part 2. Because of all the noise, the blacksmith did not see that a man had opened the gate and entered the forge. It was normal for poor tramps to be drawn to the forge, but the glow of light which escaped through the smashed panes and to come warm themselves in front of the fire. The blacksmith only glanced at the stranger and went back to their work. He looked the way people of his type always did, with a long beard, Dory Ray, and with a bunch of rat traps hanging on his chest. The tramp did not say anything either. He had not come there to talk, but only to warm himself and sleep. In those days, the iron mill was owned by a highly respected iron master whose greatest goal was to ship out good iron to the market. He watched both day and night to see what the work was done as well as possible. And at this very moment, he came into the forge to inspect the work. The first thing he saw was the tall tramp. He walked close up to the tramp and looked him over very carefully. But of course, it is you, Neil Olson, he said. The man with the rat traps had never before seen the iron master, but he realized that if this fine gentleman thought he was an old friend, he may give him some money. Yes, he said, good God knows things have gone downhill with me. You should not have left the army, said the iron master. That was the mistake. Well, now of course you will come home with me. No, I couldn't. I think of it. The tramp replied, looking quite alarmed. He thought of the $30. To go home with the iron master would be like throwing himself into the lion's den. The iron master saw that he must give it for now, but he was set on having his way. Thus, he went home and told his daughter about the man who sold rat traps. Half an hour later, she entered the force. My name is Elizabeth, said the young girl. I'm so sorry that you are having such a bad time.
Okay, Pedro, you want to take up and read to the bottom of that page? Yeah.
She looked at him with love and concern. Then she saw that the man was afraid. Perhaps she had stolen something or else has escaped from jail. She thought to herself. She then say aloud, you will be allowed to leave us as freely as you came. Only please stay with us for Christmas Eve. She said this in such a friendly manner that the rat peddler trusted her and agreed to go with her. But later, while she was reading up to the house, he felt uneasy. Why did I take that fellow's money? He thought. Now I am sitting in the trap and will never get out of it. At the house, the tramp was bathed and dressed in one of the iron master's bed suites. When the iron master saw the tramp in full daylight. It was impossible to mistake him for an old friend. What does mean? He thundered. The stranger made no effort to lie. It was not my fault, sir, she said. I never pretend to be anything but poor trader, and I begged to stay in the forge, but no harm has been done. I can put on my rags again and go away. Just as he was opening the door said, I think they ought to stay with us today. I don't think we ought to change away a human being to one we had offered Christmas cheer. The young girl took the stranger's hand and led him to the table. Now sit down and eat, she said, for, for she could see that her father had given in. The man with the rat trap did not answer anything to this. He only stared at the girl in wonder. The next morning, the ironmaster and his daughter got up to go to church. Their guest was still asleep, and they did not disturb him.
Okay. As they rode back from church, the young girl sat and hung her head sadly. For at church, she had learned that the old ironworker had been robbed by someone selling rat traps. They had hardly gotten home when the ironmaster, who was very angry, asked the maid whether the stranger was still there. The maid answered that the fellow had gone and that he had left behind a Christmas present for his daughter. The young girl opened the present and gave a little cry of joy. She found a small rat trap, and in it lay 3 $10 bills. But that was not all. In the rat trap lay also a letter. Honored Miss, you can give back the money to the old man on the roadside who has the money pouch hanging in the window frame as bait for poor tramps. The rat trap is a Christmas present from a rat who would have been caught in this world's rat trap if he had not been treated so kindly, because in that way he had got power to clear himself. Written with friendship and high regard, Neil Olson. All right. Any words in there that we need to do a definition for?
Mm. Mm, 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 mm.
The second side and the 1, 2, 3, 4, and the 5 paragraph on the side. I think he out. How do you say that? Out.
Ought. OUGHT. Is that what you're looking at? I
Yes.
think he ought to stay with us. It means should. I think he should stay with us. Yeah.
Oh,
I think he
okay.
ought to stay with us. Yes.
Okay. Thank you.
Ought.
I think he ought.
Okay. There were not too many pronunciation things. There was one in, let's see, on the second column, the second paragraph where it said, but later while he was riding, I think that was yours, Pedro, riding. It's a long I instead of a short I. I think you said reading.
reading.
Yeah, but it's a long I, which makes it sound like riding. And that's about the only thing that I noticed. Everything else sounded good. See, y'all are getting so good.
Right.
Okay, let's see if we can answer the questions to the story. On page 90, there are 9 questions. And let's see. You want to do, well, you mean to give you a couple minutes? Let me give you a couple of minutes and y'all read over them and see if you can do them on your own. And then we'll do them together.
Together.
You'd rather do them together?
Okay.
I'll give you 2 minutes to read over them. You might can answer 1 or 2 of them. You never
Okay.
know. Okay, now we can do them together. Okay. Number 1. Sonia, you want to read number 1?
Yes. The blacksmiths do not see the peddler enter the forge because it is so noisy.
Okay, because it's so noisy. That was in that first paragraph, I think. Because of all the noise, the blacksmith did not see a man open the door to the gate and enter the forge. And the forge was like a big, huge building where they it was an iron mill where they melted iron and made different things out of iron. So it was a big, huge building. But they had these big fires in there where they melted all the iron products. So it was nice and warm in there. And that's why the peddlers, or the what they call them, poor tramps is what they call them. That's where the tramps like to come and get warm on cold nights. So yes, it was too noisy, or it was so noisy. Okay, number 2, Pedro, want to read it?
It is for the strangers to come into the forge. Is frightening. It is frightening for the stranger to come into the forge.
It would be frightening for me, but for the answer to this one, it was common.
Common.
Common. Because in that,
because it's normal, no? It's normal
right,
for
normal is what it said in the sentence. It was normal for poor tramps to be drawn to the forge by the glow of the light. So I don't know why they didn't use the word normal, because that's what it said in the story. I don't know.
To confuse us.
Yeah, to confuse you. You're right. But normal kind of means common. Common and normal are about the same. So, okay, number 3. Sonia?
Number 3. It is likely that the Iron Master had known Neil Olson during the war.
Probably during the war, because he made a comment, you should not have left the army.
Yeah, you should never left the army, say the Iron Master. That was the mistake. That was the mistake.
Yeah. So it must have been during the wartime that he was in the army, because he wasn't an old friend of the family.
No.
Well, it is likely that the Iron Master had known Neil Olson. There is a sentence that said he realized that if this fine, wait, where was it? Well, I just had it. No, that's correct, because the sentence I'm looking at was, but he realized that if this fine gentleman thought he was an old friend, he might give him some money. But that's what the peddler thought. That's not what the Iron Master thought. But the Iron Master said he shouldn't have left the army. So I'm with you. I think it was during the war. Okay, number 4, Pedro.
The Iron Master realized that he has made a mistake when he sees the peddler in full daylight.
Right. He sees the peddler in full daylight. He knew he'd made a mistake. All right, number 5. Sonia. Now I'm calling you Norma. Good grief. Why am I calling everybody people that's not even here? Like I do need a nap.
Okay. The first person to realize that the peddler is in some kind of trouble is, and then I have confused. I have the Iron Master, but I have the blacksmith too.
Well, I think the blacksmith saw him come in, but no, they didn't really
pay attention, right?
They just said the blacksmith only glanced at the stranger and went back to their work. So they didn't really pay him any attention. So we can mark off the blacksmith.
Okay. So Iron Master.
The Iron Master didn't really know that he was in any kind of trouble. He just thought he was his old friend. The maid was kind of after the fact. The maid told him that he had gone and left a present, but she didn't know anything about any trouble. So I think it was Elizabeth.
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth says in that top of the second column, says, "My name is Elizabeth," said the young girl. "I am so sorry that you're having such a bad time." And then in that next paragraph said, she looked at him with loving concern. Then she saw the man was afraid. Perhaps he had stolen something, or else he had escaped from jail. So I think Elizabeth was the first one that noticed that he was in some kind of trouble.
Okay.
Okay, number 6, Pedro.
Elizabeth and her father learned that the peddler stole the old man's money. Yeah, on Christmas Eve.
This one's tricky.
It's Christmas
Okay.
Day when
On
they
Christmas,
come.
yes,
Came for
on
the
Christmas
church.
Day. Yes, they were coming back home from church on Christmas Day. He had come to their home on Christmas Eve because Elizabeth says, only please stay with us for Christmas Eve. So he spent the night that night. And then the next day at church is when they found out that the old man had been robbed. So it would have been on Christmas Day that they found out.
Christmas Day. Okay. See.
That one was almost a trick question.
Yes.
Okay, number 7. And this is kind of a thought question because there's really not I don't think there's a right or wrong answer. I think it's kind of what you think, which one you think. Where do we get to? Do we get,
Number 7.
yeah, is it you, Sonia? Or
Yes, my turn. Yes, my
okay.
turn. But I didn't answer, so I'm trying to say which one. The peddler signs the note with the name Neil Olson because
He think he's just as good as Neil Olson.
That what you think?
Yeah.
I think the letter A, but I don't know. I'm not sure. He doesn't want to
doesn't-
reveal his real name.
Okay, you didn't want him to reveal his real name. It could be that he just didn't really want him to know who he was. It could be that, you know, he was going to maybe still pretend he was Neil Olson, like they had originally thought. I don't think he did it to make the Iron Master angry. I don't think he did that. The daughter has made him feel like Neil Olson. I don't know that the daughter knew Neil Olson.
No.
I think that maybe the Iron Master knew Neil Olson, but it didn't really say that the daughter did. So probably A or B, either one would be correct. Whatever you think. To me, this is kind of a whatever you think. Because it doesn't really state, you know, why he signed. Okay.
Maybe A. Maybe A.
You
Maybe
think
A.
A? Okay. You can have A or B, either one. I just don't think it's C or D. I don't think it's either one of those, but I think it could be A or B, either one. So, okay, number 8. Pedro.
We can guess that the Iron Master. He's another mom to feel. I think he's always crazy one. Loved his daughter very much.
That's what I think.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, he certainly didn't think she was just another mouth to feed.
No.
He didn't think she was crazy. He didn't say anything about her being crazy. And I don't think he was wanting her to get married to the rat peddler, the
No.
rat trap peddler. So A is correct. All right. Number 9.
The lesson we can learn from this story is that you can trust anybody.
Can't trust anybody. That could be, you know. Sometimes we think we can trust somebody and it ends up like the old man and he got his money stolen.
Or could be like people act more decently when they are treated decently because the Elizabeth treat him like nice, and the
That's
and the,
true, they did.
yeah, and the peddler act nice too with her.
Well, that's true. So maybe, yeah.
Maybe, ouch.
I think C. What do you think, Pedro?
I think the C.
You think C too?
Yeah.
All right. C it is.
Okay.
Okay. Now, let's look at this. This number 3 I found very hard. We'll do it together. I got a little bit confused on it. On the left-hand side, it gives some words that describe either the peddler, the ironmaster, Elizabeth, or the old man. And we'll look at each of them, each of the words, and see where they need to go. If they need to go under the peddler or the ironmaster or Elizabeth or the old man. Okay, the first word at the top is bitter.
Bitter.
Which one do you think was bitter? Or kind of, when you're bitter, you're mad at the world. The world is just horrible. Everything's going wrong.
The peddler.
The peddler. Yes, the rat trap peddler, because he thought the world hated him, that the world was a rat trap and had put him in it, didn't he? Okay, the next word is concerned. Who in the story was concerned about someone? Pedro's got to plug up, right?
Yeah.
Concern. I think the Iron Master.
You think the Iron Master was concerned?
I'm trying to remember the story. I know the Iron Master was hardworking, but
yeah, he was. He was. See if it gave a word for him. I thought the one that was concerned, and I thought it because Elizabeth, because she came in and said, "My name is Elizabeth. I'm so sorry that you're having a bad time." And I thought that by that she was concerned about the peddler.
okay.
What do y'all think? What do you think, Pedro?
Yeah, the same thing.
You think that too? That she was concerned about the peddler. Okay. All right. Who was... I got one on here twice. Who was friendless? Who had no friends?
The old man.
The old man, right. He didn't have any friends, did he? Well, and actually the peddler didn't either, did he?
Yeah, the peddler.
Neither one of them had any friends or family. Both were lonely. So I guess that could go in either place. Okay. Who was hardworking?
The Iron Master.
Iron Master, yeah. Yeah. Who was lonely?
The old man.
The old man was lonely, wasn't he? He didn't have a wife or a child. He was lonely and wanted somebody to talk to and let him in, and they played cards and everything. Okay, who was respected?
The Iron Master.
The Iron Master, yes. He was respected by everyone. Who was retired?
Peddler.
The peddler and the old man, I thought both were probably retired
Mm-hmm.
from
You can choose
something.
only one.
Yeah, I know. I can only have one. Well, it may be. Let's see. The old man told his guest of the job he had at the iron mill when he was younger. So maybe the old man was the one that was retired.
Okay.
Okay, so he was lonely and retired. Who was robbed?
The old man.
The peddler. The who? The old man?
The old man. The peddler robbed him, remember?
Ah, yeah.
And who was saintly?
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth, yes. But she was concerned about him. Who was tempted?
The peddler.
The peddler. Tempted with the money, wasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Who was wealthy?
Iron Master.
Iron Master. Okay. And who was young?
Elizabeth.
Elizabeth. Elizabeth. Yeah, I thought that one was a little bit hard. Some of it could have gone with both of them. So, all right. Okay. Now we're going to flip over and do. We're going to look at some prepositions. The in, on, and at. Let me share my screen here.
Okay.
I don't care about email. There we go. If you look at this one, this gives you a little bit of information on let me see if, can y'all see that? Does it need to be bigger?
Yep, that's fine.
That good? Okay. Okay. This tells you, this is talking about the preposition in, on, and at. And I think I sent this to you in your email, so hopefully you have this in your phone you can refer to, or in your email you can refer to. If you are talking about time and in, it's basically the time part breaks down into centuries, decades, years, months, and weeks. And if you did a sentence, there's a sentence saying, let's meet in April. Sometime in April. It's not specific. It's let's meet in April. Could be any day in April. Okay. Now, if you wanted to be specific and say a specific day, maybe in April, or a specific day or a specific time to meet, you would be on the second level, which is more specific. Says your days or weekends. It would say, let's meet on Saturday, or let's meet on April the 1st. So on is more specific. If you want to get very specific, you're going to use the word at, and that will be in hours. Let's meet at 12 o'clock. You might even in that sentence use several prepositions. Say, let's meet on Saturday at 12 o'clock. Okay, and that's the time part. You can also use in, on, and at with locations. On the right-hand side, you'll see locations. If you're in a general location, it's going to be like the country, the city, or the neighborhood. Like I live in London. Okay, it could be anywhere in London. It's not specific, it's just in general. If you want to get more specific, you're going to go to the street and avenue that you live on, and that would be you would use the specific word on. I live on Main Street. If you put the two sentences together, you could say, I live in London on Main Street. You're being, in general, you live in London, but specifically, you live on Main Street. Okay, if you want to get very specific, you're going to do your address, specific address, like I live at 32 Main Street, and that's right at that particular spot is where you're going to live. It's being very specific. Does that make a little bit of sense to you?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. I know it's not great, but hey, it makes some sense. Okay, well, let me get over here. And the next one I have is,
No, bebé, no.
oops, that's the wrong one. Oh, that's the right one. Okay. Okay. Whoops, that one's a little bit small.
What?
Make it just a little bit bigger. Okay, this one just gives some examples. A preposition is a word that describes where someone or something is. And there's lots of common prepositions, and there's one sheet that we'll look at in a minute that'll have several prepositions on it. This shows basically like the other sheet showed, but it gives a few more examples. When you're using the word at, which is the specific or precise time or place, you're going to say at 7 o'clock, at 10:45, at noon, at dinner time, at bedtime, at sunrise, at sunset, or at the moment. So you're being very, very specific.
Okay.
In the place you're going to use at for a point and for institutions or places, like at the corner or at the bus stop, at the door, at the bottom of the page, at the end of the road, at the entrance, at the crossroads, or at the front desk. So you're being specific at a point that you're at, whether it's on a road, at a bus, at the front desk. Okay, and whoops, let me move this down a little bit. Okay. All right, the next one is in. This one is talking again in time. You're going to be not specific. In July, in the winter, in the summer, in 2013, in the Stone Age, in the past, in the future. All of those are non-specific.
Somewhere.
Somewhere, sometime. Okay, we're going to use in for enclosed spaces and geographical regions, like she is in the garden, in Manchester, in England, in a box, in my pocket,
And the
in my
church.
wallet. Huh?
In the church.
In the church. Right. It is that would be a specific place. All right. Then on. We're using on Saturday. That's a specific time. On Saturday. on Mondays, on July the 11th, or on 11 July. I don't know why they wrote it that way. On my birthday, on New Year's Eve. And on is also used for surfaces or public transportation. On the wall, on the ceiling, on the door, and then maybe on the menu,
On the
on a
table.
page, on the schedule. Yes. So it's specific. That this gives you kind of an idea of when to use the different prepositions at, in, and on. Now, I have a worksheet, and we'll work on it together. Let me see. Let's do the first one. I think it's the easier one. Well, it has less. Has less on it. Whoa, boy, that is little. Okay, let's get a little bit bigger. Can you read that? Does it need to be bigger?
I can read.
Yeah.
Okay, let me do just a little bit bigger. Okay. These are going to use the prepositions in, at, or on. Let's practice and see what we've learned. Okay, number 1, Sonia.
The pens and pencils are on the table.
Very good. Yes. Number 2, Pedro.
Is there anything interesting on TV right now?
Yes, very good. Number 3, Sonia.
When were you born? Were you born in 1990?
Yes, in 1990. Somewhere, sometime, not specific. Okay, number 4, Pedro.
Elephants are the largest land animals in the world.
Okay, in the world. Elephants are in several places in the world, so it's not specific, you know. And number 5, Sonia.
My friend was at home. At home 1 hour ago, but he's not there now.
That is correct. He was at home. Okay, number 6, Pedro.
Would you please be quiet? I am on the phone.
Yes, very good. Number 7, Sonia.
They live in a large island called Madagascar.
Okay, it's on. Yes, it's a large area, so it's on a large island.
Yeah,
Called,
because in is in. Yeah.
And you would be in the dirt.
Yeah.
You would be buried on that island. We don't want that. So.
Yeah, in
Okay.
is in.
All right, number 8, Pedro.
The doorbell rang, but I didn't see anyone at the door.
Right, at the door. Okay, let me scroll back up. Whoops. Number 9, Sonia.
The homework is due for tomorrow. I have to hurry to finish it on time.
On time, yes. Number 10, Pedro.
What time do you go to sleep? What time do you go to sleep? At night.
At night, yes. Number 11.
UFOs real? Do you believe?
On?
It is a place, or what is that?
It's
What is it?
it's the UFO is unidentified flying objects like
Extraterrestres.
yeah, extraterrestrial.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. So it's just saying, are UFOs real? Do you believe
On.
in?
In.
In. Yes, it's
In.
in.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Do you believe
Uh,
in? Okay.
Number 12.
As after we got the airplane, we found our zero at sit down. After we got in the airplane, we found our seat and sit down.
Okay, this is one of those
In.
this
On.
is one of those exceptions, and he talked about it on that video, if you were able to watch it. On small things like cars, you're getting in a car and out of a car. On large areas like boats and like cruise ships and airplanes, you're getting on them because it's on a large surface. But if it's on a small surface like a car, you're getting in the car. But if you're getting on a cruise ship or an airplane, it's a large surface, and that's the exception. I know there's always exceptions, isn't it, to something in English? So I'm sorry for those.
They say
But,
that like the bike, right? The bike is you are on the bike.
right,
Yeah.
right.
I remember that.
Yeah, yeah. In the video, he gave several good examples of exceptions. So
On the large place we are on instead of in. Instead of
we're
in.
on the airplane. We're in the
Okay.
car, but we're on the airplane.
No, baby.
Number 13, Sonia.
Will you be at home tomorrow afternoon?
Yes, at. Number 14, Pedro.
Let's put the picture on our living room wall.
Yes, that is correct. 15, Sonia.
It was okay. I was on time for class today, but I was late yesterday.
Yes, that is correct. Okay, number 16, Pedro.
My friend was hurt and a car accident. In a car accident and had to go to hospital.
Yes, that is correct. Remember, the car is in.
Mm-hmm.
The bigger area, like an airplane or a boat, is on. So that's very good. Very good. Y'all did real good on this one. This other one, looks like there's a lot to it, but it's I think maybe a little bit easier. Let's see. And also at the top, it gives you some more ideas of, make it a little bit.
Yeah.
At the top, it talks about at, in, and on. It gives you at is when you're talking precise times. In is months, centuries, long periods. It's not specific. And on is like on Sunday, on Christmas Day. It's less specific.
Yeah.
Or more specific, rather. Okay. Number 1. On the left-hand side, it's a sentence you're going to use in, on, or at. Number 1, Sonia.
My parents aren't here at the moment.
Yes, very good. Number 2, Pedro.
I am meeting my friend on Tuesday.
On Tuesday, yes. Let me move this down a little bit and it'll give you some hints. Okay, number 3, Sonia, you get, this one has 2 answers in it.
The train leaves. The train leaves. The train leaves on 7:30 in the morning.
Okay, this is a precise time. So which preposition you use for precise time?
At.
Yes. The train leaves at 7:30. And in the morning.
In the morning. Okay.
My computer, it just went into oh no, hang on just a second. Okay. Now I'm plugged in. Okay, now. Let's do a couple more of these. I think y'all have got this down pat. I don't think it's going to be that hard for you. There may be a few of the exceptions that come up. Let's see. Pedro, do number 10.
10, okay. I started on my homework at 8 o'clock and finished only at midnight.
Very good. Yes. Sonia, do number 15.
Number 15. I usually have a party. Oh, perfect time. I usually have a party. You said 15, right? Usually have party.
15.
I usually have a party on my birthday.
Yes, on my birthday. If you'll look up at the top, days and dates. Very good. All right, over on the right-hand side, you're going to write at, on, or in the blank and do number 6, Pedro.
At Christmas Day.
Okay. If you look up at the top, you're going to be specific on days and dates. So you're going to use on. So it's going to be on Christmas Day. Yes. Now, if it's
because it says Christmas Day.
yes, on Christmas Day, that's a specific day or date. If it's at or on at Christmas, that's using you know what? Well, hang on.
Okay, mira qué lindo está.
It should be on Christmas Day, and it should be at Christmas. Because Christmas can be Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. It's not specific. Like on that little pyramid, it's not specific. So it would be at. Just like over on, yeah.
Dates and dates. Days and dates is on.
Yeah, if it's on a specific day or date, like on March the 9th up there at the top, or on Christmas Day, that's a specific time. Yes. Okay, number 9, Sonia.
Number 9. Wait. Number 9. On autumn.
On autumn, in autumn.
In autumn.
Look at the top.
Oh yeah, okay.
Months,
It's-
years, centuries, and long periods.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Let's see. Pedro, do number 15.
15 Monday evening and in 18 on my birthday and at the Monday evening.
On. It should be on Monday evening. It's very specific.
Yeah, on Monday evening. Yeah.
Yes, Monday evening. This one's a little bit harder. I think it's easier to do it in a sentence when you're reading the sentence than just having to put it like this. Number 23, Sonia.
At bedtime.
Okay, at bedtime. Okay, I'm gonna let you all. Did y'all get the email? Whoops, that has this little pyramid on it, where you can kind of
see. I want to view later.
Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah, look at this and kind of study it, and that will help you with the prepositions.
Okay.
I've also got some flashcards, but we're not going to have time to use those tonight because it's already 8:20. We need to sign off for tonight. I'm getting tired, and I know y'all are too. I need a nap. So, I need a nap. So next week, we'll review
This is a break.
prepositions. We'll do some. I've got some flashcards like these where it'll be like she is going through the tunnel or she is in the tunnel. She's coming out of the tunnel. We'll do some of those next week and just kind of review prepositions.
Miss Phyllis.
Yes.
Next week we'll have a break or no?
Oh, yes. Next week you're going to have break. We won't have class next week. I forgot. Yes. Oh,
Finally.
Yes. We will not have class next week. And another thing I'm supposed to tell you too, look on WhatsApp, Sonia, and you might pass it along to some of your lady friends. There's a breast cancer prevention class that's going to be done by Zoom in Spanish.
Okay.
And it's going to be next Tuesday, the 13th at 11 o'clock.
Okay.
And all the information, if you'll go to the WhatsApp thing, it'll have the Zoom connection. If y'all want to do that. I almost forgot to give you that too.
Okay.
Yes. It'll be 2 weeks before we're back in class.
Okay.
We will finish what we'll finish the lesson, and then we'll review prepositions, and I think we'll be through with prepositions and go on to something else then after that. So okay. Well, y'all have a nice fall break.
Okay, you too.
You too. Thank you for the class.
All right.
Thank you for the time.
No problem. I like it. See, I keep going all night long. Y'all just have to sit there all night long with the, hello, how are you? Hi. Hi. I see you. Okay, I'm going to end the session. So we will see you all in 2 weeks.
Okay, bye.